Hello, out of the park friends. Here with the video you can see I am in. Let me go full window here. I am in out of the park 25. I had the intention of coming back with like an out of the park 25 wrap party, and never did it, and had not played with this sim for like, I don't know, I think a couple months until like a few weeks ago. And then with baseball season starting and all that, I got the itch again, and the work stuff and home stuff that had kept me from playing this sim kind of resolved themselves. So I jumped back in, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to walk you guys through this sim. I had updated this a few times for you guys during Out of the Park 25. My last couple of videos were on this sim, but I'm years ahead of where I was. I think like Gunnar and Jackson were still around in that one kind of at the end of their career. So I think I'm like 6 or 7 years past that now, and have a pretty fun roster with some Orioles legends in the making. You can see here, I won the World Series this past year. Is my 4th World Series win. Had a big drought here with just not being able to go over the hump with the World Series. But I've won 2 of the past 4. I've won over 100 games every year since 2038, except 2040 when I won 98 games. I've won the division a bunch of times. This is a bit of a rough year. Only 87 wins and 10 games out. Barely made the postseason. I have realigned the league. The postseason's a little bit different. But yeah, went through like a little bit of a lull here. I remember not feeling great about the team, but that just had some superstars kind of blossom before our eyes. Whoa. And yeah, have made the postseason every year except 2024, the first year of this. I missed the postseason. And then 2030, for some reason, I missed 2. I had a couple, I think maybe either right here or right here. I had a few years that were just brutal with injuries, and really like the team sucked. Because it was just unreal. Like the whole starting rotation, and my top 3 or 4 hitters, just like for like 2 straight seasons, were just missing like extensive portions of this season. But you can see overall, I think this has been a really good sim. I think the run that I've been on here is incredible. I don't mean that like I'm incredible. It's just been an incredible run for the franchise. And so, you know, the core of this team is still around. Not all of it, but most of it. This would not be my batting order, by the way. But let me go through like who the starters are on this team. You can see here Billy Philpotts. I drafted him in the 11th round in 2034, and he's just turned into like an all-star catcher. You can see he's won 2 Gold Gloves. He's made 3 all-star games. He's won 2 Silver Sluggers. He won a quarterfinals MVP. I don't call it the division series. Yeah, he's just been a stud. He's one guy that I have a decision coming up on because he has, I think, so 2045, and so I've got 2 more years of control under him. And you can see like he wants a lot. I don't really know that I want to pay a catcher that much. I have a catching prospect, a former first-round pick coming up, who seems like he could be good, but hasn't like killed it at the minor leagues. You can see he really just has not done that well in AA in 2 different stints, but he's going to be in AAA next year just because like it's time to push him to see, can he be our next catcher? So anyways, that's catcher. First base is Edgar Vega, who we traded for in 2034 when he was 16 years old. And now he's just turned into a superstar, an 80 potential. Let's see, what was he in 2034? Oh, wow. Oh, this is like a huge player development win. This like wasn't even totally on my radar that this had happened. What the hell was the trade? I don't even remember. Along with Eric Berry. Dudes, I don't even really remember this trade. But I got an all-star player out of it. I mean, you can see he came up, and then last year was good but not great, and then just exploded in his age 26 season. He's at first base, but honestly, like he could play second. He could definitely play third, but we just have better guys there. Fielding, he's going to be like probably our leadoff hitter. He's great. Sorry, I'm on OSA because I was looking at a retired player earlier. Uh, he's great. He's not like our main superstar, but we just lost one of one of our two best bats to free agency. Kind of planned to lose. So Vega is like even more of a light on him now. The reason we let like our franchise second baseman go, who is like an annual 4 or 5 win player, one of the reasons is this guy Juan Miranda, first round pick from 2040. He's 25 now, 41st overall. So I think he's like a supplemental pick. He is just really good. You can see he's only really played part-time because he was blocked at second base, which is his best position, I think, here. And he was playing like some outfield. He was playing some second, some third, a little short. But I think this year he'll probably play like more 130, 140 games. And I think with the additional games and with a step forward, I mean, you can see his 162 game average is 4 WAR. I think like he could, if he takes a step forward and plays 130, 140 games, he could be a 4 WAR player. And honestly, like I think he's got room to grow even beyond that. And he's also going to be playing at second base, where he's a better fielder and will pick up more defensive WAR too. You can see in left field he's a little below average, and second base he's pretty excellent. Next this is our franchise legend, Sergio Solorzano. We got him from Texas in 2034. I did a prospect video about him previously. I actually traded, I had a crunch at outfield, and I traded a guy who was an all-star outfielder. You can see, he was an all-star outfielder when we traded for him at 25. 2016 had a down season for us, and I had some outfielders emerge, so I traded him, and you see he still went on and had 2 really good seasons in Texas and then fell off. And he actually came back to us as a bench bat towards the end of his career. But Solorzano, I mean, look at this animal. Look at this guy. 117 games last year because he was hurt, and he put up 8.9 WAR. He won the MVP, missing 4 weeks of the season. He's won 3 MVPs. I should have set this so it tells you how many it is. I always forget to do that. He won a Gold Glove. Made numerous All-Star games, numerous Silver Sluggers. Has he never won? He's never won a playoff series MVP. That's crazy because we're in the postseason every year. Surprised this year he didn't win it. 13 games and those numbers. That seems like good enough to win an MVP. Man, who beat him out? So yeah, he's on the leaderboard for a bunch of top 10 franchise all time. His rate stats, his counting stats, he's just an animal. And he's had some health issues the last 2 years. I have him in the lab for whatever the conditioning one is to help their injury proneness. He's fragile. He's locked up for a little bit more time, but he hasn't opted out after this season, and he's not willing to negotiate yet. Sometimes when they have an opt-out, they're willing to negotiate. I don't know if that signals he's not going to opt out. Never really paid attention to that, but I'm going to keep this guy around for his career. He's just here. He's going to retire with us. I would refuse to let him go anywhere else. Left field is Chris Ray, who broke his kneecap in May and missed a lot of what was going to be his first full season as a starter. You can see 27th overall in 2037. Came up last year for us and was an animal. And then he got off to a good start. But, hopefully he can stay healthy because he looks like he could be really good. I don't know that he's a 156 WRC plus guy like this, but I think he's a really good hitter and a good enough fielder. This is one of our bigger trade acquisitions. Andy La Rochelle needed a center fielder because ours was 34, injury prone, and a free agent. Got him from Cleveland. Gave up a good bit to get him. This is a player who he can play everywhere well. He was not the best player we gave up in the deal, but Mike Braun went to Cleveland and was their starting second baseman, I think. This was a good prospect that a lot of teams were interested in for some reason. I was sure, man, 45 power, 60 range. Yeah, I'll give him up. And then Rob Cromer was one of the better relievers in the league, I believe. I might be overstating that. Yeah, no, he was putting up 1.5 to 2 WAR per season and was really good for them. Oh, he's a free agent. I could bring him back for $21 million per year. It's kind of tempting. I don't really need him though. So that's La Rochelle. He's been with us for just 1 year, I think. Yeah, and I locked him up to a 5-year deal. Looks like and the funny thing is Cleveland is like our biggest rival. I think his range has. Oh no, okay. Damn, I keep going to retired players and it switches the head and OSA thing. Annoying. And then our DH next year will be Sam Jackson. He's just got the 55 range, so. And, the contact isn't great, but the avoid Ks is good. The power's great. The eye is getting there. I think, he's a top 100 prospect. He was a 14th round pick in 2038, 455th overall. You can see he just ripped it up. Like, you could see where his TCR or whatever hit in, and he just destroyed the minor leagues the last 2 years across 3 levels. And then came up last year and wasn't great, but I'm going to try to give him the time at DH, and he'll back up on the infield. And then the other big guy we have coming up is Luis Mendoza, international free agent signing from 2037. Signed him for $5.3 million, which is not something I always do. But I think when I saw a guy with chance to have an elite bat with this defensive profile, I was like, yep. And he really was like solid in the minors, and then last year just exploded. So much that his defensive WAR to put up 6.5 WAR with a 116 WRC plus. His zone rating was a 28.5. So, I think I skipped over my shortstop. So, yeah, I think that Mendoza will probably take the job here from Ted Redmond, but Redmond is really good too. That avoid Ks is so good. The infield range is so good, but I think he honestly probably profiles more as a utility player than Mendoza. I think Mendoza is going to hit for a higher average. I think I think he's going to be a better overall player. I think he's a better hitter and a better fielder, although Redmond is a really solid player. Look what he's done for us. 4 WAR, 160 game average, a 112 WRC plus across 600 plus plate appearances. This is a really, across 1,200 plate appearances. This is a really good player, and I'm not just gonna take the job from him. I think that over the course of the season he could lose his job though, and he's also the kind of guy who he's not guaranteed to keep up this I don't think he's a 118 WRC plus guy, and he's also the kind of guy who could have a down season and lose his job. This offensive profile is solid. I'd be totally happy with him as a starter, but he's not somebody who's going to block a potential all-star, perennial all-star. So those are the main offensive guys. Pitching staff, Luis Zapata I got from Texas when I needed an ace in 2037, and he's just stuck around, and you can see he's been an animal. Even at age 33, I do have the aging speed at 0.9, and I think I have development speed at 1.1. Look at this season, 7.4. He hasn't won a Cy Young, which is a little surprising given some of these seasons that he's had. But he just hit free agency last offseason and re-signed him to a 4-year deal for a lot of money, but we're in a pretty good spot financially. We could afford that. Jimmy Shepard we brought over at last year. Our starters we had 2 of our 5 starters hurt and another 2 underperforming. Zapata was the only guy performing, but we were in first place. So I was like, I got to bring in an ace. So Jimmy Shepard, I brought him in. You can see Nats fans might have rioted if he had been traded to the O's in real life, but yeah, he's old. He's 36, so I've got some concern there that he could fall off. But the Nats ate 30% of that, so we're paying him what? We're paying him $23 million, right? And then the vesting option, 180 inning pitch. So if he sucks this year, I'll just dial his innings way back or skip his turn a few times, and he won't get to 180. What did he get? This last year he got to 160 total. Again, another guy who hasn't won a Cy Young. I'll show you. Well, actually, he wouldn't have been affected this because he's in the NL, I think. I don't think I switched to the Nats League, did I? No, yeah, they're in the NL South. You can see I have the AL East, the AL Central, the NL South, and the NL West. I just grouped it geographically. But I'll show you something funny about the Cy Young Awards in a minute. So Jimmy Shepard is a beast, I think. Zion Nowden, he's aging. He's 37. But he's been with us his whole career. It says free agent signing. That's because he just went to free agency and I re-signed him. He originally came over as a 38th overall pick in 2028, was a top 100 prospect, back-end top 100. He's made only 3 All-Star games, which is honestly kind of surprising. I mean, what years did he make it? Like these, the 37, 38, 39, 36, 38, and 39. I mean, like these ERAs and stuff, like, and he's on one of the best teams in the league, and he was like my number 1B starter for like half a decade or more. Surprised he didn't make more All-Star games. Doesn't surprise me he's won a Cy Young. 5.5 WAR isn't enough to win a Cy Young normally, but the R WAR here, I mean, he led the league in ERA that year. He's got a career 3.31 ERA and a FIP almost identical. Strikeouts have really started coming down, but he was never a huge strikeout guy. He was like in his mid-20s, but then it kind of dipped, and we're okay with that. The thing you'll notice here is like he's only had one major injury right here. Every other year he's started a ton of games, but now he's for some reason listed as wrecked because he started to get hurt here towards the end of his career. I just signed him to a 1-year, $19.6 million extension. We'll see what happens, but with his health. But you can see almost all of these are day-to-day. Elbow strain, no. Elbow strain, no. This was the big one, UCL injury. But before that, like, he missed 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Like, look at, like, he never missed more than, like, a month for, like, the first decade of his career. So he's great. Shamar Santillis is a guy that I brought over from New York he's 27, so it could still happen. I honestly thought he was going to turn into an ace, and he was the first half season I had him with a 2.18 ERA. The strikeout to walk ratio was absurd. But you can see last year kind of took a pretty big step back with this 4.32 ERA. But then this past year was better. He was better for sure. And I think he's, every bit as good as Nowden or Shepard. But, I don't love having all these lefties in a row. But, he's my number 4 starter. My starter rotation is really good. Frank Donen he came in because of injuries last year, and I think honestly just kind of like pitched well enough to win the starting job. You can see as a starter, only a 4.68 ERA, but I don't know. Well, he could battle it out with some guys for sure. Ben Hoffman is ready to battle with him. Who else? Lazardi has, like, I never thought much of this guy, but for some reason he's a top 100 prospect, and he's performed well at the minor league level. Well, he didn't last year. Last year was a down year. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's going to hold up, but I'll give him a chance as long as people think he's good. These guys are all free agents. Is Pomeroy a free agent? Or no, sorry, that guy's free agent. Ben Still is another guy who could jump into the rotation if need be. Jared Old Cheese Lifshitz could certainly jump into the rotation. So I've got some depth here, some younger players. Bullpen is in great shape here with Rothstein. Look at the season. 3.3 WAR, 4.8 R WAR. He had not been that good for us. He was solid, and then he had a year where his ERA was excellent, but his FIP wasn't. And this year, just an outstanding season. Pat Clifton is another guy who's been great for us. Some up and down years, but has been really solid overall. John Bullock is a guy who was not that good for us last year, but the year before and in his brief time with us was really good. I do think there's room to add a reliever here. Maybe I'll go bring that guy back. I forget his name, my old guy. Eric Fowler is a 6th-round pick from 2042 who tore up AAA last year with a .98 ERA across 27 and 2/3 innings, so we brought him up, and he had a 1.23 ERA for us. So it's kind of where we're at with that. Player development, Mendoza Daya is a guy that I got from Cleveland a while ago. Let me see. That's the catcher. Jackson is the DH. Jonathan Nicholas is a 7th-round pick from 2043 who has exploded TCR. Yeah, this was a first-round pick recently. I'm picking like 36 because there are 32 teams and there's always comp pick. My first pick is always like 36 to 40th. It's basically like a second-round pick every year. Let me show you some of the stuff that Solorzano is up to here on the leaderboard. He's 8th all-time in average. Nolasco was a player of mine. On-base percentage, Solorzano is 4th. Now, a lot of times you'll have guys up here until around age 30, and then they'll get old, and their rate stats will fall. But, like, slugging percentage, I can't see him falling out of the top 10 here. There's Samuel Basayo. Howarth, I'll tell you about him. He was the second baseman I let go because I had Miranda and Mendoza, the two guys I showed you. But he was a guy that I traded for as a prospect, and he worked out really well. Not an MVP player, but a perennial all-star. Like, I mean, his 5.7 career high. He'd never crossed 6 WAR because he never played 162 games, but his 162 game average was 6 WAR, 132 career WRC plus. But he was 31, and I had the two young guys. And honestly, this contract is not that crazy. 5 years, $160 million with the opt out. I just didn't need to spend that money on him. I've got guys who are clearly ready to replace him. OPS, you can see that Solorzano is there. I'm surprised Howarth isn't up there. Career WAR, Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, and then you've got Solorzano. I'm surprised. Oh, Howarth is there. He's 9th. He outlasted Frank Robinson. He took more plate appearances to get there. Games, Basayo, you can see Gunnar and Jackson. At bats, nobody new there. I mean, Gunnar and Jackson, I'm not counting them. I've already kind of given you updates. Runs. Yeah, Solorzano hasn't emerged on a lot of the counting leaderboards yet. Mainly just rate stats, but he's going to. And he's up there on some. I think like home runs for sure. Yeah, he's already 8th in home runs. Sergio Pedersini is a guy from the Sim. He's in Cleveland now. I didn't realize he had signed there. That's funny that he re-signed. You can see that he was pretty solid. A few awesome seasons for me. But at the age of 34, just was hurt too much. Like, I mean, 52 games, 70 games, 102, 95. It was like, man, I can't count on you anymore. So we let him go. Really good player though for us. Solorzano is not up here yet, but Pedersini is. So how far is Solorzano? He can't be far off of 766 career RBI. 668. Okay. Doubles 218. What does he need to get up there? Oh, wow. He needs like another 3 seasons probably to get up there on the doubles leaderboard. You can see his plate appearances are like way less. I mean, not even 5,000, 4,700. Look at everybody else up here in home runs. 265. So he needs like another 202 to catch Basayo. That's like 5 seasons. He could do that. What's interesting is he's only up here once. Caught stealing. Walks. Solorzano's 10th in walks. Nobody else there. Hit by pitch. Pedersini. Heston Kjerstad, 3rd. Nice. And then strikeouts. Pedersini is there. Gunnar, Jackson, Basayo. That's great. That's a great trio there. One thing that is crazy is I've never seen this before. Awards. Why am I blanking on where history index, right? Awards, American League winners, Cy Young. A Cleveland pitcher has won every Cy Young since 2034, and it's been 3 different pitchers. Arrowwood. David Osorno, who they eventually didn't re-sign. Bobby Johnson, Arrowwood, Johnson, Arrowwood, Johnson. Insane. Like, what? I mean, Arrowwood is a legend. Here, I'll show you Arrowwood, his career. He was a 36th overall pick back in 2029. Look at this guy. Look at these strikeouts, man. That's awesome. And then Bobby Johnson, who was a 13th overall pick. Look at this guy. And then they had Osorno, who they then let go to New York because I think they couldn't afford him. Just an absolute beast. But then I think this happens. It happens every season where they have like 3 guys get votes, right? It's not even like just Johnson and Arrowwood every year. Their 3 and 4 starters are always complete animals too. Let's see. Where are the awards? They're somewhere right down here. Okay, Cy Young. Let's see. Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, Juan Roberts. It's not an Arrowwood second. I got Zapata, Shepard, Rothstein there. That's nice. That feels good. Juan Roberts. Look at this guy. This guy has never won a Cy Young. And I guess he's not like a Cy Young guy. This was his closest probably. But, I mean, just an absolute workhorse. And he's their third best starter. And he puts up, like a bad year for him is 3.5 WAR. I mean, he's like, that's a really, really good third starter. You can see Cleveland, they're in my division, and we've just been a thorn in each other's side. So let's look at the rest of the rotation. Look at this guy. This is their number 4 starter. He's a 2-time All-Star. Probably, good God. Just cranking out pitching like in real life. Like the Guardians are just like, yeah, we'll just continue to crank out pitchers. I wonder if they have any guys. So that's a first-round pick. He 37th overall, and he's an amazing bullpen guy. This is another. Wow. Oh, same guy. I was like, wow, same thing. No. Yeah. Okay. Look at these guys. They just draft pitching early and just develop the hell out of them. Not a draft pick. Not a draft pick. What's going on here, guys? Why are these not draft picks? Let's see if they have any other guys coming up. Oh, a bunch of rookie ball guys. Well, they have this guy in A-ball. 70th overall. I don't know if he's going to be a stud. 5th round pick. Free agent or international free agent. Scouting discovery. But yeah, you can see the Guardians have been really good for a long time. They've made the postseason every year since 2033. They've won 3 World Series. They're like 100+ games, 90+ games every year, and 100+ like half the time. So they've been awesome. They have Keon Johnson. Wow, why is he batting that low? Is he trailed off? Or am I thinking of somebody? Oh, see, I didn't realize he was that inconsistent. I just kind of like remembered his bat. He was kind of like their main hitter, I remembered. Wow, who else do they have hitting for them? Their hitting's never been great. I feel like maybe they lost one of their main hitters. They traded me La Rochelle, which was very kind of them, the center fielder, but I feel like they had a super good hitter. I also want to show you something with the MVP award in a second too. Oh, and I'll tell you about like what I'm thinking for Out of the Park 26 too. Grahovic they got from us. La Rochelle. Let me see if there's Keon Johnson, right? Saravia, is he the guy I'm thinking of? No, he wasn't that great. Castillo. Who they had like a middle of the order bat who was super scary for a few years, and I am blanking on who it is. I mean, was it Condon? Like, who I traded for the deadline 1 year? Yeah, Condon was good, but that was a while ago. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm just making this up, and they never had like a beast lineup like I am claiming. Okay. Well, whatever. I want to show you something on the Dodgers. This is funny. So the Dodgers, let me see if I can locate the right 2 players. I think it's Chris Christopherson, great name, 2043 Cy Young. Chris Stewart, 2043 MVP. Oh, is he a 2-way player? Maybe this is why. I did not realize that. Hold on. It was 2043. What did he do that year? Okay, so he put up 2 WAR. So, I mean, he was fine. He was fine as a hitter. And then pitching, what did he do in 2043? Oh, okay. So this guy did not win the Cy Young in 2043 with 7+ WAR, 2.7 ERA, 10 strikeouts per 9, 229 strikeouts. He lost it to Chris Christopherson, who, put up just a little bit more WAR. Yeah, but Christopher, but they're basically like, yeah, you get the Cy Young, but this other guy like was kind of an okay hitter, so he was a decent hitter. So we're gonna give it to him. I had never seen, and now again, the 2-way player thing kind of like takes away the real like craziness of it. But like, it's just funny that like 400 at bats of like a really good hitter was enough to push him over the top, but it wasn't enough. He wasn't good enough to win the Cy Young. But this is actually the first time I've realized that he's a two-way player, though. I was like, man, that is crazy. They give the Cy Young to one starter and the MVP to another starter, but it makes more sense now. Anyways, before I ramble some more, I'll tell you guys what am I thinking of doing for Out of the Park 26. I don't know, man. Like, honestly, not necessarily planning on doing much. I was planning on like recording a few videos when the new game came out, just like showing new features, etc., stuff like that. But then I had some stuff going with like work was really busy, and then like everybody in my house got the flu. Man, flu A was rough. It's been 3+ weeks since I got over it. I'm still like tired, man. I don't know if any of you guys out there have that rough flu A. Holy hell. So I wasn't planning on like coming out and doing a bunch of videos, but I was going to do a few, but then it was literally like the weekend that the game came out. Like my older daughter came down with the flu, and then it took like 2 weeks to run through our house. It was miserable. So have not played the game yet, have not bought the game. I would like to record some videos at some point. Probably just here and there though. I don't plan to do anything regularly. And I might record zero. Like that's definitely a possibility. But I might do like a short sim or kind of like a more casual sim where I don't provide as detailed or in-depth updates. And I think if I did it, I would do the Pirates. The Pirates seem to be fun. And they're in a fun spot with like having the pitching, all world pitching, not enough hitting, and a really miserable owner. I think that would be a really fun team to do. I don't know if somebody else out there, like Spore or Old School Sports is doing the Pirates. Maybe I'll pick somebody else. I haven't watched any Out of the Park 26 videos. I don't know, who the popular teams are this year. But honestly, right now I'm having fun with this O's team, and I'm like attached to Solorzano's career. So like I think it'll be a little while until I start the new game. I think I'm committed to playing this when I'm playing Out of the Park to having it be this, at least through Solorzano's career. And then like I might be attached to like Miranda's career and Vega's career. And oh wait, hold on. One of my guys, did I not show you Gill? Yeah, I skipped. Like I was all over the place with my lineup. I like skipped over multiple guys. Alan Gill. Look at this guy. 5.7 WAR, 161 WRC plus. I got a cough. Hold on. You can see he came up and was a beast for us, and then was not really great in this year, and he lost some playing time, but then stole the job back in 2044. He's got the 80 power. I drafted him 97th overall in 2037. Was he a high school bat that I drafted? I don't draft high school bats that often. Wow, he was. And he came up through the system pretty quickly, but then, pretty quickly. He made it to AAA. He was miserable this year. So then, and he was really good that year. I should have promoted him there probably. Sometimes when somebody's 19, I've noticed like 18, 19, like even if they're doing well at rookie ball, like if their relative ratings are bad for A-ball, like they're really miserable. I honestly don't promote to A-ball based off of stats in this game. I had a bad time doing it. I will consider the stats, but I also, if you're like a teenager still and your stats say you're ready, but your relative to says no, like I'm not promoting you. Whereas once you're a little older, like I want to move you up the chain to challenge you. But yeah, so Alan Gill probably lost like a year. He probably could have been up a year earlier if I'd been more aggressive, but just have had a bad time with that. How did he do when he? So then he came out of the gate hot in 2039. So he bumped up to A-ball and he was not very good. And he came out of the gate hot in A-ball. So then I bumped him up and he was solid in high A, but not amazing. So I started him there again and he came out hot, bumped him up to AA where he was great. And then he went to AAA and then he came up in 2042 at age 23. Anyways, that'll do it for this video. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back at some point. Maybe I won't. Again, I don't think this is going to be like a regular year of content for me. Just not in that mindset right now. But plan to do some stuff here and there. And as I get the itch, maybe more regularly. But right now, just kind of playing out this OSIM. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys. I guess I'll say thank you for being so great to the channel throughout the years. It gives me the opportunity to just pop in every so often this year, even if I'm not in a spot to be able to do videos all the time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Leave some comments if you have any questions or anything you want to see me do, like in sporadic videos. But yeah, peace out. Talk to you guys later.